often ask me why this research on women in leadership still matters. The glass ceiling has cracked, they say, right? Why is this still relevant? But the numbers don't lie. In 2014, 23% of college presidents were headed by women. If you take out community colleges, that number plummets to 13%. It matters because Dr. Drew Gilpin-Faust still has to pre-qualify her position. I'm not the woman president of Harvard. I'm the president of Harvard. This work matters, and that's why I'm here. This summer, I traveled over 14,000 miles all over the country. Yes, the custodians at PDX are on my Christmas list now. To learn more about the career trajectory of these 10 amazing women. I wanted to find out their stories and why, against all odds, they are in the chair that someday I, and hopefully many women in this room, aspire to be. I wanted to take those strategies to help my own people, to help grow them and pull them up. Their stories were so inspiring. What I found from my research is two major analytical themes, the themes of stepping forward and gender matters. Within those two themes were some smaller sub-themes, areas about challenges to advancement, talking about the necessary traits to be a president, the importance of mentors and sponsors, and finally, concepts about what presidents can and should look like. Stepping forward asks you to be brave. It says, if you can be geographically mobile as a way to advance your career. When you see a job posting and you have 6 of the 10 desired characteristics, apply anyway. When there's a stretch assignment opportunity, take it, even when it feels uncomfortable and everyone around you, including yourself, says, hell no. Take a leap of faith. I love risk. Not in a let's go to Vegas and throw it all on red kind of way. Not on a let's jump out of a plane for fun kind of way either. But more in a take an educated leap of faith. It will pay off beyond your wildest dreams. Now, I know that there are so many barriers to being brave and taking the leap. Familial obligations was often talked about by our participants as a blessing and as a challenge. We know the research still indicates that women disproportionately still are responsible for family and house life. We need people to help teach us strategies to overcome some of these barriers. And that's where the importance of mentors and sponsors come in. These are people who can open the door for you. Who is saying your name when you're not in the room and advocating for you fiercely? All of these women talked at length about the people who had done this for them and their immense obligation to pay it forward and pay it back. No one got there alone. They talked about the challenges women face at middle management. Women get stuck, complacent, and let's face it, stay too long at their jobs. We need to have women who are brave enough to say, it is your time to move on, and I will help you get there. Being stuck doesn't help anyone. Doesn't help that person, especially doesn't help our students. Can I get an amen? Yeah. There are structural barriers, people. These are real things that affect campus climate. Things from what time school starts to job sharing and job flex to do you have lactation rooms on your campus. Structural barriers can and impact women disproportionately, and it's up to us to make sure that we're doing all we can to remove those roadblocks. Here's what we know. Gender matters. If you are a woman president, you will be critiqued from everything from the type of mustard you pick at the welcoming picnic, to the type of dress you wear, to the very tough challenge of do I wear clear or red nail polish. You will be critiqued on everything in ways not like your male peers. I know, and I'm not a president. I know that you will see challenges associated with the mirror effect. Mirror effect meaning that men will often find other young men who remind them of their glory days and say, I want to hire them because they remind me of me. This does not mean that they have the talent or the skills necessary to do the job, though. And also, how does that impact our students? A male alumni went up to a president at a football game. What do? He asked. I'm the president, she said. Of what? He said. She said, of the university. Really? You don't look like a president, he told her. What are we telling people about what leadership can and should look like? Should it look like this? A woman talked about being on a search committee for a president when she was a dean. Another person on the search committee was enthusiastically endorsing another candidate. Oh my goodness, he's wonderful. He looks so presidential. He smokes a pipe. Frosty the Snowman also smokes a pipe. It doesn't mean he should be running a university. We need to think about the lessons that we are telling people consciously and unconsciously by the actions we do on an everyday basis. What does it say to people when we're thinking about opportunities for others and we relegate the man to the Master Campus Planning Committee and the woman to the Recognition Committee? Consciously or unconsciously, we're saying things about their value, their worth, and their gender in powerful ways. Women may or may not even know that this is happening to them, but it internally affects them in ways that we can't even imagine. What we do when we do these things is we silence people. We silence them, we're preventing opportunities for upward mobility, and we aren't tapping into our own issues as to why we think that the woman could only be the hostess and the man can work on the pro forma. This must stop, and it must stop with supervisors saying, I will check my own bias when I think these things. What can leadership look like when we attain a critical mass of people who represent the diversity of the students we serve? What does that look like? We say we are inclusive, we say we are enrolling more diverse students than ever before, but why does the top not look like that? I refuse to accept that as an answer for my generation. So why does this research matter? It matters because stepping forward is still required in order to advance. Leadership is still a gender matter, and gender still matters. How do we know this? How do we know that this is still relevant? We know this because I will end the way that we started. In a world where Dr. Drew Gilpin-Faust, the president of Harvard University, has to pre-qualify her statement, I'm not the woman president of Harvard, I'm the president of Harvard. I refuse to accept that for me or anyone in this room. Thank you.